So this bungalow was actually meant to complete on Friday and the money actually never landed. This put serious pressure on the cash flow for my business. So in this video I'll show you exactly what happened this week, the decisions we made to try and protect the business, and something that I did that most people probably wouldn't. Morning YouTube, it's Monday again. So I've woke up this morning not feeling too great, so I've got a right dodgy stomach, so I don't think I'm going to be out on site because I need to be close to a toilet. I don't know if that's YouTube worthy or not, but yeah, it's the truth anyway. So I've just rang Bip. I was going to go up to Penkhull New Road and get these beds put up while the lads are just finishing off pad stones and just bits on the loft conversion. Can't do anything at Daisy Bank at the moment because we're just waiting for the worktops. There is a couple of like metal supports that they've asked for and the units, but I don't want to go and drive all the way up there just to do two of those, so we'll just do them like the day before the worktops are due to arrive, or possibly the morning they're due to arrive, because can't see them being very early. So yeah, Bip's on his way now. Get these beds loaded into his van. They can go and do them. And we'll just see what happens for the rest of the day.
Me and Tommy come to Penkhull, 4-bed HMO, to make some beds, haven't we, Tommy?
We are, mate.
Yeah. Me and Tommy, we're gonna have a little competition, aren't we? Who can get it done the quickest?
Yeah.
Tommy's in there. I'm in here. Tommy's got a head start. I haven't opened my box yet. Let's have it. Right, that's one bed done. Tommy's done his bed. Think it was a draw, wasn't it, Tommy?
I'll say draw, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go for a draw, eh? Both finish at the same time, just need to get the headboards on now. Tommy's bringing them up. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta slide them out. Don't cut the fabric. Let's get made up then, eh?
While I'm in the office, guys, what I'm doing is basically running through some of the project management stuff, just making sure that jobs are on time, we're on schedule, anything needs ordering or anything like that. But if you have a quick look at this is what we do. So, yeah, what you can see in front of you there is a Gantt chart. And as you can see, each individual item goes in date order. This blue line here is today's date, so that'll move across, you know, as time moves by. So as you can see now, the ones in green have been ticked off as done, so they're all done. So we're actually slightly in front of schedule on this job. So if you just click over there to the main table, you'll see there that we've got all of those jobs that are in that Gantt chart listed out. They've got the dates by them, they've got the number of lads, the duration, and then that gives you the total amount of days. Basically, the lads do the jobs, try and keep within those time frames, and then they tick them off as completed. And then that falls over there to that Gantt chart, which gives us an idea. And obviously on this Gantt chart there, you can see that little diamond to book the inspection. So that gives you what's called milestones. So yeah, it'll give you what them milestones, things that you need to do up front. And all of this is designed so that we don't lose time. Because what we found, we were kind of getting on a job. Say take this loft conversion for instance. Ripping all the stuff out, the insulation and what have you, getting all the padstone set, measuring up for the steels, and then the steels were taking a couple of weeks to turn up. So the job then kind of stopped for a couple of weeks. So what we tried to do is anticipate this, measure up for the steels beforehand, get those steels ordered, and then the lads can be doing the proprietary stuff, building up to that while they're waiting for the steels. So it kind of cuts down on, lost time. And then things like, that milestone of booking the steel inspection. So if we book the steel inspection as the steels are going in, that means the steel inspection will be done straight away or just after, and that allows us to crack on to the next part. Are you with me? Whereas if we get the steels fitted, all the joists in, all done, and then we book an inspection and they can't come till the following day, that's a day that we've lost. So it's all about trying to pick up these little bits of time that we're losing, because that's what we've found towards the end of each job. We kind of a week, maybe 2 weeks over, and that's where profit's lost. So this is what we're trying to do this year to try and make sure that profit is king. Are you with me? It's not a dirty word, you know what I mean? The whole reason we're here in this office now, on site, doing whatever we're doing, driving around in those vans, is to make a profit. So we're having an absolute nightmare with these solicitors. So mine's been on the phone. In fact, she's actually called me 2 or 3 times this morning, even while she's away on holiday. So give her a due. Good solicitor. Basically, what's happened is, I don't know if I've explained this, when we were sold that plot of land, it was technically 2 parts of land that were crammed together. Now, it would seem that, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, that we've built a bungalow on a plot of land that we don't legally own the whole of it, because the fact that the transfer deed hasn't been done correctly by the vendor's solicitor when we bought it. So, and that's what's holding everything up. Technically, legally we can prove that we own it because of how the sale was set out, and the memorandum of sale included a planning drawing which clearly outlines the plot that we were buying. But all being said, a lender, so the people that are buying the bungalow from us have obviously got a lender because they're buying it with a mortgage. There's no lender in this land that will hand money over unless the TR1 shows that we own that plot of land, regardless of what legalities are behind it. So we're just having an absolute nightmare now getting hold of the solicitor that was on the vendor's side when we purchased the plot of land, who she's emailing me back when I email her, but she's basically said, yeah, I've emailed my client and asked her to sign it and send it back. Now, when she sent it me originally for me to sign it, it was October last year, so it's over 2 months, and she says she's emailed her twice. Now I know for a fact she's got her phone number, and she's just said in an email that she'll happily post the documents out for her with the self-addressed envelope so she can post them back. She full well knows that we are trying to complete on Friday. The postal service won't even get it to her, because I know for a fact that, I was just going to say a name then, but I better not do, but yeah, that solicitor lives in Peterborough. So it's just an absolute mess, and it's all down to so-called, professionals, these people that we pay ridiculous amounts of money for doing what I see as such a simple task, to be honest, but they still can't get it right. You know what I mean? How much brain power does it take to look at 2 drawings of a plot of land and realise that one's L-shaped and one is rectangular? Realise that there's a piece of land missing. Now, old ChatGPT has come into play again, and it has basically said that on her side she's made a grave error. So, and it's now telling me that I've got a really good case for professional negligence. So obviously I'm not going to go there just yet, because all I want is it to complete on Friday, but we may have to go down that route. But that's going to take time. That means the lads are going to have no work to go on to, which, you know, potentially could mean me having to lay them off again, which is honestly is it's gutting. I've got to the point now where I'm physically shaking sending these emails. Holding this camera now, I'm shaking. It's a good job it's got good stabilisation. It's kind of, I just want it through and done and dusted. Like I say, it's completely out of my control, which is what frustrates me more than anything. The fact that I just can't take the bull by the horns and go, let's get this sorted. It's in someone else's control, and they're supposed to be professionals. But yeah, let's keep on with it and see where we can get to. You know what I mean? My solicitor, she's just phoned me. She said if we haven't had anything back by the close of play tomorrow, then we're going to look at legal options that we can take. Well, my diary's just buzzed at me and reminding me that I've got a job to go and look at this afternoon, so I better head over there. I think it's on the Cheshire border, so a bit of a drive. Well, not a bit of a drive, but it's not just up the road basically. So let's get over and have a look at that, and then that's one that'll need to be quoted for as well. To be honest, I'm glad to just take me away from this bungalow for a little bit, because it is really frustrating me to the point of, yeah, pulling my hair out kind of thing. Back in the van. So that one was a very nice property. So it's out in Checkley, so obviously really nice area. Quite a big extension really, but had the old, you know, the usual saying, we need to keep the cost down as much as possible. Right, okay. So, and that's coming from someone, you know what I mean, who lives in the area that our ideal avatar would live in. Are you with me? So yeah, but you know, it still looks a really nice job. He's just told us openly he's going to get a couple more quotes, so all we can do now is quote on that one. Drawings are already done, so it's not a fact that we can go in as a design and build project. But yeah, lovely looking building. Let's basically get this quote done now, get it sent across to him, and get back to the office. Like I say, I'm really sorry guys that I'm not my usual, you know, not that I'm jovial, but you know, I'm not myself today, because it's just this bungalow sale is weighing heavy on me now, to the point where when I was sending emails over earlier on, and I was basically recording a voice message to my solicitor about, you know, the solicitor that's dealt with the sale when we bought the plot of land, I was actually shaking, and I think I said that to her in the message. I can feel my hands shaking. I'm physically shaking because I'm so mithered about what's going to happen, and that's why she phoned me straight back. I think she could hear it in my voice. It's not nice, are you with me, when your livelihood, your profit, your future is in someone else's hands, and when they don't seem to care, you know what I mean, they kind of brush it off as, I'll send it in the post. Honestly, you know what I mean, I've been known to lose my rag in the past over a lot less, and keeping me cool, the kind of person I am that I've come into the property world, has been a difficult thing. So I've just missed my turning. Anyway, let's get back to the office and get this quote done. Tuesday morning guys, so been in here now for probably almost an hour already, so just basically getting some red oxide sorted. Ben's gone to pick up the steel. We can drop it off at the job and get it primed. We'd normally have it primed by the people that are supplying it, but they said it would take an extra 2 days and it was going to cost quite a lot of money just to prime it. So I decided let the lads do it on the drive. So obviously cover the drive up with some tarpaulin, get it painted. Probably take Tommy, what, I don't know, an hour or so, just give him a lick of paint. But yeah, need to now get those jobs priced. I'll try and get one of the lads to get some footage of the steel. But yeah, feeling a bit worse for wear this morning. It's been, yeah, I hadn't had much sleep last night due to this bungalow. So honestly, when people say that property is easy, it's not. It can be simple, but it's not fucking easy, trust me. Sorry for swearing, by the way, YouTube. But yeah, it can be very stressful at times. So can this, running a building company, are you with me? It's every time your phone rings, well, in my position anyway, it's generally a problem. So no one really rings you with good news nowadays. So yeah, but yeah, the property thing, it's just been a nightmare. Just trying to not sell it, you know what I mean? It's sold straight away. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think, really, that in the industry of property development, especially the new build stuff, we actually build the properties quicker than it takes it to go through conveyancing. Now, how ridiculous is that? What kind of a world are we living in where the amount of red tape supersedes the building of something? It's crazy. So, but yeah, we're gonna keep on it today. I've got loads of jobs to price. I've got 3 jobs to look at as well, all across the Cheshire border. So there's a bit of driving involved. But yeah, it's going to be a mental day, but just really tired due to the fact that just not getting any sleep with this bungalow at the minute. It's really weighing on my mind, because if it doesn't complete on Friday, who knows what's going to happen. You know what I mean? There's a lot of money owing to us. It's one of them things, I suppose. You can't really control it because it's out of my control, but I'm going to try and nurture it as much as I can.
Just strapped them up to the fence for now, Rob. Check it out, do they?
Back in the van. So yeah, just literally now on the way up to meet the guy that I've met before about the work over on the Cheshire border, Wimsley, Horsley Edge, that way. So he's got a couple of jobs that he wants me to have a look at. Look quite nice jobs, to be fair. So we're going to basically head over there now, meet up with him, have a look at the jobs and see where it goes. Now, I've tried to contact the solicitor again this morning. She's still heard nothing, so we still haven't had that signature back. I've actually managed to get hold of the people that we bought it from. Were older people, to the point where the husband had died and the wife was selling it. It's just one form that wasn't signed when it should have been done. It should never have been allowed to complete. I don't know if I've said this before, but it's, yeah, down to the fact that it was 2 plots of land put together. One plot was never signed over on land registry, so we're just trying to get that sorted now so as we can sell it. It's literally, that's the only thing holding it up now for conveyancing, and it's literally a signature. So, but the problem is she's an old lady that needs to sign, and I've managed to get hold of her son, who said, yeah, she's been in hospital because she had a fall. So it's kind of, yeah. But he has managed to get hold of her and told her she needs to sign it, but she can't find it in her emails. And obviously older people, they're not amazing with technology, are they? I'm not that good myself, but I'm not quite as old as her. So, but yeah, hopefully, I've just sent me a message to the solicitor. She's asking for another call because she can't find the voicemail message that was left in order to return the call. So yeah, I've asked her to give her another call to see if we can kind of get this sorted out. I've kind of got it in the back of my mind now that I don't think we're going to complete on Friday. You know what I mean? I haven't got much hope at the minute, which is, it's not good for us. You know what I mean? We're going to have to call a few favours in. We're going to have to try and work things out as we can move some stuff around to allow for some temporary cash flow, just to get us through this next few weeks until we can complete, which is crazy. You know what I mean? We're a decent building size I can't get my words out today. I just think I'm so frustrated at the minute with this. It's having quite a big effect on me. But yeah, we are a decent sized company. We're not a massive company, but we're not like a small one-man band. So our turnovers, you know what I mean, it's all right. And it's ridiculous that the cash flow's got to this due to this one job. But I put myself out on a limb with this, with this project, because it's one of my own projects as a new build. Something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I've put me horse on the line, and that line's kind of creeping up on us at the minute, and it just needs to complete. You know what I mean? Like I've said the other day, it's crazy that we can build a property in less time than it takes for it to go through conveyancing. So the world's gone crazy, but yeah, we'll keep at it, but we can't stop. We've still got stuff that needs doing within the company. I've still got to go and meet these people, price these jobs. The lads have still got work to do, so we've still got to trade. It's just going to make things tight for us for the next couple of weeks, which we'll get through it. You know what I mean? We're going to have to. It's either that or we just hold our hands up and give up, and I'm not about to do that. I haven't done in the last 30 years, so why would I now? So, but yeah, it's not convenient, put it that way. But let's get over it, meet this guy, and see what we can make of today. So just got back from that meeting with Martin, I can name him now because we are officially working together. So he's basically just given me pretty much 2 extensions and a new build all over the Cheshire border. So quite a lot of work. So I actually now need more men. Obviously we need some cash flow to come in from it first in order before we can start taking these guys on. But honestly, I'm not even kidding you. It's a bit of a windfall for us. Means we can push forward and kind of get closer to them goals, where we wanted to be basically. So big thumbs up from me. But now it's basically me on this computer over here for the night, doing quotes, looking at drawings, just getting everything sorted, ready for the coming week. So just have a quick bit of bite to eat. Basically because I'm in that office now pretty much all night pricing jobs. We've got so many leads that have come in. Obviously I've got no further with the bungalow, but I'm trying to put it to the back of my mind because it's depressing me basically. So obviously my solicitor is now on her way back from Prague, so I can't get hold of her. The piece of paperwork that we want is just proving really difficult to get because it's got to come from a signature of the people we bought the land from, and obviously she's really old, so she's struggling to understand what it is we want. So yeah, some beans on toast for me tea. So that's my favourite meal of all time. I absolutely love it. And that's the council house kid in me, basically. Honestly, if I was on death row and I could have my last meal ever, it would be cheese and beans on toast. But yeah, let's get this down me anyway, get back in that office now, and let's start getting some of these jobs priced. Morning YouTube, it's now Wednesday. Whew, very tired this morning, very long night. But up and out, we've basically got the worktops, the quartz worktops, coming tomorrow and being fitted by Howdens, and they've asked for some supports to go in underneath the worktops. And a few other bits, sink setting and stuff like that. So just going to nip up there now, drop some timber off out the yard because the lads have gone straight there. What else have I got to do? I've got a couple of appointments as well with prospective customers to look at jobs off a couple of the leads that have come in this week. And then I've also got a TR1 form to be signed by the person we bought the plot of land off. I've managed to get a hold of her, basically the person we bought it off, her son. I've managed to get a hold of him, and he says that he will call her tomorrow and he will ask if we can go round there and just get her to sign it in his presence, because she's a bit older. Are you with me? So I've got to give him a call at some point this morning. I've just nipped into Emmy's Builders Merchants just to pick up some matchboarding for a ledged and braced door that needs making, and it's one of the final tasks on Daisy Bank, and it's done then basically once these worktops are on. Like I say, all we've got to do is pipe the sink up. So yeah, so what I've done is I've picked up the matchboarding on the way up there, and I've asked one of the lads to do it, but they're a bit unsure how to make a ledged and braced door. They could probably have a go and they probably get somewhere and around that. But one thing this is identified for me is, because I've always been the carpenter and joiner, because that's my trade, I've kind of, I'm the person that needs to be replaced in this business in order for me to totally get off the tools. So the tasks that I always get dragged back for are things like fitting a kitchen, hanging expensive doors, stuff like this, making a ledged and braced door, and just general joinery tasks like that. Young Bip is a carpenter, a joiner, you know what I mean? He's qualified as one, but he hasn't experienced these kind of things. He's done a lot more kind of first fix joinery, and you know what I mean, he's been in the trenches laying bricks and all sorts over the years, because that's what's been needed. So now I'm trying to pull away things like, stuff like that, and then things like traditional roofing. They are getting better at it, but I think I need to replace me. I need a carpenter, joiner, all-rounder, someone who can do the finishing elements, because most of my guys are really good at the groundworks, the bricklaying, the roofing, that kind of stuff. And when it comes to like kind of post plaster, that's kind of where they can't not lose interest, but that's not the stuff they're good at. So I think I need to use people for the strengths, and then I think that's my next hire. The problem is, I've got to bring in the cash flow, so I've got to price more and more jobs, try and get more jobs booked in before I've got the cash flow to actually take this person on to kind of move on. So that's the difficult bit, and that's the bit I am really struggling with. Where do you find the cash flow to grow? And from what I've deduced is, the way to find it is just by working your nuts off till you've got that extra cash flow to allow you to grow, to allow you to back off slightly. But that still doesn't seem to have been working, because I am working long hours, are you with me, to try and gain that extra cash flow to allow me to grow and take these extra people on. So honestly, it's frustrating to say the least. So we've managed to get all of that over to Young Bip, just picked the supports up from Howden's. It's got the timber for making the door, a bit of timber for rear supports for the worktops. It's got everything there that he needs basically. I've just run through very quickly on what he needs to do, kind of explained how he needs to do it. Obviously he is a joiner, you know what I mean, he's got knowledge of joinery. It's just that kind of finishing, second fix stuff he's not really done a great deal of. So I've just given him some instructions. He says he's fine with it, so all I can do now is kind of put my trust in him and just, you know, hope he does a decent job of it, which I'm pretty confident he will do. You know what I mean, he's a good lad. Part of my problem is letting go as well, accepting that, yeah, people might not quite do as good a job as I do because I've got that vested interest because it's my company, but I've got to kind of, people keep telling me that I've got to accept probably 80% of my 100%, are you with me? Which I always find difficult. So because we're such a small company, it only takes like one mistake or one fuck up to kind of cost us enough money to make us lose money on the job, are you with me? So it's quite imperative. Sometimes these jobs are really tight, which obviously comes back to my pricing as well. But one thing I have noticed since the pricing's been upped in order to reflect the true value of what we're doing and to guarantee that we're going to make a profit on these jobs, is we're having so many people coming back saying, sorry, we can't afford it, or we've got someone a lot cheaper to do the job, because we're growing slightly. We've got the correct insurance in place, we've got vans, we've got all the equipment, you know what I mean? We've got a lot of overheads for a relatively small company. So when you put us up against like a one-man band or two blokes in a van, you know, that just work together as a partnership, we will come across as expensive, but we're doing it properly, are you with me? So I've got to this job slightly early. Looks like an old solicitor's building. It wants to be turned into, I think it's 5 flats. I'm going to have a quick look at the drawings now on RCRM. But sometimes I like to actually get to slightly bigger jobs like this earlier, so as I can have a quick walk around the outside. You know, not that I get interrupted, but you know, it gives me a chance to just concentrate on the exterior of the building without the customer talking to me. So I can just have a quick scope of it really. So let's have a quick walk around. So obviously we've come round the back, we've come through that alleyway there, and we can see that's the building there. So let's have a quick look around the outside. So looks in good nick, it's typical solicitors, all the windows are, you know, got bars on them and stuff like that. And then we come through to the main road. And that's the building we're looking at basically. So looks like it's been empty for a while, it's all boarded up. So that's the 188. So we'll get inside, wait for the customer, have a look round, cross-match the drawings over what exactly wants doing, try and get some kind of scope of works, and then we can get back to the office and hopefully get a quote produced for it. Let's see what this one brings, eh? So just at the next job now, I've just been in and had a look. This one's a small rear extension. The last job was humongous. It was 5 flats. from the building that I've just shown you around. And it was an old solicitor's, so there's all kind of shelving and furniture and desks, and there's a big counter where you come into the reception area, there's a safe, there's all kinds of stuff in there that needs ripping out. And then the amount of sound insulation and thermal insulation and things like that are going in, it's colossal. It's quite a big job, that one. But this one, typical bread and butter job, small extension on the rear, wants to kind of future-proof it and make sure that the flat roof has got big enough joists in it to be able to build up off it at some point in the future. It's got a realistic budget, and the best thing of all about it is he's just mentioned the YouTube channel. You guys, what I'm actually talking to now. So he's actually seen me on YouTube, and he likes the fact that because we're not scared to put ourselves on the internet and show exactly what he says we're doing, it shows full transparency, and that's basically what he's just said to me. So it just proves, doesn't it, that regardless of whether the last video, I think it's on about 70 views. You know what I mean? That's quite disheartening considering the amount of effort that I put into these videos. But when you look at the analytics, it looks like it's doing quite well, and then you get comments like that, it makes it all worthwhile. So it keeps me pushing to actually do these videos. So yeah, get back now. We need to get these two typed up. He needs an introduction to the architect, because he's got no drawings yet, and yeah, get cracking on these this afternoon. Back in the office now, and we've now got a mountain of quotes to do. We've been out and seen them all. I did one last night. I think it was the highest value extension quote that we've done for a long time. 280 grand. So quite a big extension. So yeah, now basically got to work my way through all of those, get them all quoted, sent out, followed up, just basically worked through that pipeline that we've got in our CRM. And then, not having any luck at all with this TR1 form, I've basically called the guy now 4 times. Obviously I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to come across as just pestering, you know what I mean? It's probably on the borderline of what I'm doing, to be honest, but I'm desperate now. I need to get that signed. Will it complete Friday or will it not? It's looking very doubtful, and it ain't good. Are you with me? But I've got stuff to get on with. Everything can't stop, because if I stop everything, then that will be catastrophic. So, but yeah, I just need that signature, need one little signature to get the bungalow complete and over the line, and the money in our bank so we can pay back our investor and then move forward with the next project. So, and I'm not going to apologise for saying so this time, but quite happy because we have got a signed TR1 document for that missing parcel of land, which means we can now complete on this bungalow. Whether it's going to happen on Friday or not, I don't know, because we're on Wednesday at the minute. So obviously it's now been scanned and sent over to my solicitor, and then put into a brown envelope and sent by post as well, just to back it up. But she says that it's reasonable to say that we can complete, depending on the other side's solicitors. Now it's Poole and Alcott we're talking about, so I don't know. Last time we had dealings with them, they weren't very quick. So it's now on the opposite side to say whether we can get this through or not. So, and that is literally out of my control. So I've done all I can. I turned into a kind of detective over the last couple of days, trying to find out where this lady lived, who she was, stuff like that. Obviously, you don't, when you have these transactions go through, when you buy land or property and stuff like that, you generally never see the vendor. So, yeah. But we've managed to do it. It's been bloody hard work, and it's been one of the most stressful things I've ever come across. Stay tuned. It's now Thursday morning, so we're up quite early this morning. Still dark outside. We have got a crane lift this morning over on the loft conversion job over at Nutton Lane. So let's get over there, get a bit of footage and see how the lads are getting on. Just got back to the office. That lift is now all sorted. It was a bit dicey in places because of the amount of phone cables that were there. What I normally do is I ask the lads to send me a video of, you know, the surrounding area of where we're going to be lifting, so as I can send it to the crane operator, so he can give us feedback on whether he can actually lift or not. And obviously that's what we did, but this time the video didn't kind of pan up into the air. So when I got there and I'm like, shit, there's more cables there than I saw on that video. So I was a bit worried that he would come and say I can't lift, but he was quite proactive. Bought him a bacon sandwich, so he kind of helped us out and he got it up there. So the lads just need now to get them in place and then they can start stripping the back off ready for the dormer. Now I'm back in here. One thing I need to do is I've got a stack of quotes that I need to get out. A few of them are for that guy that we're working alongside up in Cheshire, so Wimslow, Alderley Edge. He's got 4 jobs that he sent me, so he's basically chucked me in at the deep end and he says I could do with these quotes back by Friday morning because I'm going to go and meet with the clients and I want some idea of, you know, price on what to give them to allow us to kind of, you know, move forward and get them jobs booked in. So, which is great for us because obviously it means the more jobs we get booked in, the easier it is for us to scale, take on more guys and eventually get a project manager on board. But obviously I've got to pick up that slack before we can do that. So yeah, I'm going to be in here for a long time today, basically getting those quotes together. They're not detailed quotes, they're just kind of ballpark figures for him, but I'm going to get on with that now. So just had a quick look at my diary and realised I've actually got a meeting with someone. This is a possible investor, someone who wants to invest in one of my projects. So I need to get over there sharpish. Just clean forgot about it with all the drama this morning. So yeah, get straight in the van, get over there now. But obviously I can't miss this because there's an opportunity for bringing a new investor on board. You know, she's got a substantial pot that she wants to invest. Probably going to offer around about a 10% return. But yeah, let's get over there now and then we can get back here and then jump on them quotes. It's Friday, guys. So, good morning. Today we've got quite a busy one, as per usual. So, yeah, basically need to just get over to the loft conversion job just to have a look at what's going on there. Ben said they had a bit of a, obviously we lifted up with a crane yesterday, but they had a bit of a struggle at manoeuvring the steels around inside the loft. So we stripped the back of the back of the roof, basically where the dormer's going, and temporary covered it in. So just going to go have a look, just see where they're at with that, just see if there's any obvious things that are not quite right, you know what I mean, something that they might not be doing quite right that I could just put my finger on and just speed things up a little bit. But I've got every confidence in them, but when you put, you know, 30 odd years experience against 15, occasionally there's a little tick and trip there, isn't there? So, but yeah, not saying that I'm trying to undermine them or anything like that, but just want to go have a look. Probably spend a little bit of time there with them as well. It's good for team bonding. Not really going to go back on the tools. But yeah, and then I've got this afternoon, got a couple of jobs that I need to look at as well. So they're coming in thick and fast at the minute. So it's just a struggle to keep up with actually pricing them. So, but again, we've got this situation of, in order to build the extra cash flow, in order to take on that project manager, that person that can do admin, we need to bring extra revenue in first in order to be able to afford their salary, in order for them to be able to jump on those tasks, so as I'm not absolutely crazy pushed out of the places. You can probably see now I'm a little bit starry-eyed because I'm just up late every night at the minute, either pricing jobs or doing admin tasks or just basically stuff in this office. So I kind of set it up. I know you know that it's my house is through there, and I set it up so it's separate to my house, so I can basically shut it off. But it's still very easy to just walk through that door if something's needed. You know, I had a customer conversation on the telephone last night. I think I was getting out of the bath, you know, it was kind of 10:30, something like that, 9:30, 10:30. So yeah, that's where you get drawn in, you know what I mean? And I've always got this rule that customers shouldn't cut into my private life. So normally, I think it's, what was my rule? My rule's 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock, I don't look at my phone, but because I'm trying to grow at the minute, I'm doing all this extra work, I've got myself drawn back in again to being on call pretty much 24/7. Spent the best part of the morning on here helping the lads lift those steels in because they were a bit of a bastard. Basically, obviously, because we've had them full length and not have them spliced, it's tight, specifically because we've got this chimney over there and then there's another chimney that side, so the length of the loft is, you know, it's different in places, so trying to get it past the chimney and slide it in. Luckily we've been able, obviously next door haven't got their loft done, so we've been able to cut through, slide them in slightly into next doors and then slide them in. So when we're working in these loft areas, a lot of the time the customers want to carry on living in the property, which we really don't like, especially when they're below us, so we make sure that they're out when we're working. At the very minimum they're on the ground floor. But the reason we haven't actually recorded me and the lads getting these steels in is because some of the stuff that you have to do this while they're still living in here, obviously normally we'd just strip the whole roof off and we'd get the crane just to lift them in place. Are you with me? Dead easy. But if we strip this roof off, obviously it's going to get wet inside, so, and we can't have that when they're living in there. So part of the reason why we don't actually record us putting the steels in, because I think health and safety would probably be on our case. We're now on our way over to a place called Badley Green, where we've got, I think it's a garage conversion we've got to look at. Obviously just check our system before we go in. We've got another one that we've got to look at after that over in a place called Blackbrook, which is lovely little like ex-chapel that was going to turn into a service accommodation unit. So it's like building up a mezzanine floor, put a first floor in it, turn it into a 1-bed unit basically. So let's get over there now, have a look at these jobs. Just left those guys cracking on with putting the floor in, all the steel work's now in. So yeah, firing on all full cylinders today. So obviously the elephant in the room is, I don't know if any of you have actually cottoned on, but it's obviously Friday today, and that was supposed to be completion day for the bungalow. Now I've just heard from the solicitor, and unfortunately it's not going to complete today. So yeah, not ideal at all, really not ideal, but there's nothing we can do. You know, we've jumped through their hoops. I got that TR1 form signed, you know what I mean, turned into a private detective for a couple of days, managed to sort that out, and it wasn't for nothing, but it was all a little bit in vain, are you with me? So, but yeah, what they're saying is, even though now they can see that the application's gone in to land registry for us to change the deed over to our name, and it's also been expedited, so it will be back with us very soon, they still say that they want to see it fully registered in our name, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's not normally the case. You know what I mean? Normally that TR1 form for any solicitor is enough. Now, I know the company that they're using, they're called Poole and Alcock, and maybe I shouldn't be naming them because, you know, they might say that it's some kind of slander or something, but I'm only speaking the truth. They are basically holding the sale up on purpose now, and I know that a TR1 form is normally plenty enough to get stuff completed. So to the point where we actually bought it without that TR1 form and it was completed with no problem, which we know that was a major mistake. That should have never happened, but it happened. Are you with me? So yeah, even though we're having a good day on site and getting things done, smashing things off, I'm still really pissed off, really am pissed off that that's not going to complete today, because at the end of the day, we're not going to get that money for another week. Hopefully it's only another week, because we have heard word that we could probably complete no problem next Friday, or whenever it comes back, if it comes back Wednesday or something. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose, and there's no point crying over it, and it's just need to try and get around it. So it's left us really tight financially, because we need that money to crack on with Baskerville Road. We've got a payment owing to us from the property company for Baskerville Road that we need in. But now I've managed to shift things round. We've invoiced for a couple of other jobs, one slightly earlier than we should have done, but customer's been okay with it. And that, hopefully, fingers crossed, will see us through. Just nipped back to the office and I don't regret this, but I've let the people purchasing the bungalow have a key, because they've got a sofa that's been delivered, because we were due to complete today. And obviously their solicitor has been so awkward, it's untrue. They've even threatened them with a complaint, because they think we should have been completed as well. But he's obviously got their sofa delivered. He wants me to go up and meet him up there. I just haven't got time. I'm on my way out now to quote the second job of the day. I've been and looked at the garage conversion. So I've just nipped back, given the keys. I really hope I don't regret this, because they've literally just come back to us with some more queries when they said that all queries were satisfied. So I've got to go through them when I get back. Honestly, solicitors. If any of you watching that are conveyancing solicitors and you don't do a decent job, honestly, how the hell do you sleep at night? You're ruining people. This guy's got nowhere to live because his house is gone. Honestly, it bewilders me that people can get away with behaviour like this, and and call themselves professionals. Alright guys, that's the end of the video this week. Obviously you've seen that the bungalow didn't complete. And it was all to do mainly with the fact that the solicitor that worked on the vendor's side when we purchased the bungalow dropped an absolute clanger. Honestly, it absolutely winds me up that these things are totally out of my control, and it's my company, because they have to be handed over to these so-called professionals. But it is what it is. We've had to find a way around it. Obviously, we've brought some invoicing forward and we've managed to find a way through it. So we've kind of lived to fight another week. Basically, we've got everything crossed that it completes next week. Even the people buying it have, because they've got nowhere to live currently. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And like I keep saying at the end of every video, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching so much. Honestly, it means the world to me, because it just shows that there's interest around what we do as a company within construction and also within property development. I just want to ask you a quick favour, because a lot of you guys that do view the videos don't actually subscribe. So if you could just jump down wherever it is down there somewhere and just hit that subscribe button, that'd mean the world to me also. Make sure you give this video a like, because that helps the algorithm and it helps us push it forward more, and we can make more videos for you. And then if you can share the video, that would absolutely be awesome. So if you want to watch a video that you've not seen before based around us building an extension, have a look up there. If you want to see last week's episode of the Builder's Diary, have a look up there. And if you want to subscribe, guys, and I know you do, don't lie, have a look down there. See you guys.